Okay, part 2 of our training here. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive into the DISC circle now. You are going to see in the next picture that pulls up that there are going to be 4 quadrants. So each quadrant, I just want to make sure that's in the picture there, each quadrant has descriptive words attached to it that attempt to capture the typical behaviors exhibited by people who have the combination of behavioral traits or tendencies that describe each quadrant of the circle. You may not be just one of these behavioral styles, but you can even meld into 2 or even more. Most people have a dominant behavioral style and a secondary style. So to make conversation about the model easier to manage, we often call each quadrant a behavioral type or style. The DISC model is a behavioral style model. The main characteristic trait for each behavioral type or quadrant of the DISC circle is used as a representative word for that type. So, Ds are dominant and direct. Is are more influential or inspiring. S's, those personality traits tend to be more supportive and steady. And C's are conscientious and cautious. Before we get started, when we're all done, see if you can figure out who I am, what you are, what your personality or behavioral style is, and maybe even a spouse or a significant other or someone in your family. Let us know in the comments there. So as we get started, D's are people who are fast-paced, outgoing, and task-oriented. These traits they often exhibit are dominant and direct. They usually focus on results, problem solving, and the bottom line. They are very strong leaders. D's weaknesses can be that they can sometimes be very impatient, and sometimes they can even appear to be defiant. That's really not how they want to come across. It's just how they appear to people who aren't of that same personality or behavioral style. Under stress, they can come across as dictatorial. They tend to be very decisive and love to be productive. They usually are quick to start tasks, but may not be great at finishing them. So they're really good at delegating to have someone else finish the task. They need to feel like they're in control, and they really fear being hustled. A big motivator for them is winning and achieving things. Their ultimate goal may be to be in control. They're not so much maybe as the recognition as much as they want to win. So when selling things to them, they want to know the facts. So what does it cost? What is the benefit to them? When do they get it and why? Show them when speaking to them. You don't have to get into a lot of everyday chit-chat. They're about you getting to the point. So speak rapidly, be articulate, and have your message prepared before you call them if you're making phone calls. They want you to be quick, confident, and motivated. They want to save time, and they want to focus on the results. A question they're often going to ask is what? They need to be challenged. They need choices, and they want control. They are hardworking, and they dream big. 10% of people are Ds. So a conversation with a D might look like this. The D is going to answer the phone, ring, ring. Hello, this is Mary speaking. Now, as your consultant, you want to be articulate, and you want to just be rapid like we talked before. So, hello, this is Chris Dickinson, your Norwex consultant. I'm calling to follow up to see how your product is working for you and to see if you have any questions. Be sure to emphasize results. They're not into chit-chat. You want to be efficient. You want to provide options with cost benefits to help them make a good decision for them. At a party, they want to know their options. So presenting a bundle to them as well, they're going to appreciate the value of that, but you also want to focus on how it saves them time and money. Now, Is are people who have outgoing and people-oriented traits. They often are inspiring and interactive. They usually focus on interacting with people. They're having fun and they're creating excitement. The people with these character qualities are influential. They're fast-paced, and their strength is persuasion. They are the life of the party, and they're all about the fun. Routine is not part of their vocabulary. Under stress, they will usually come across as sarcastic. Impulsive and demanding. They may even ignore facts sometimes. They are definitely going to exaggerate. They will be quick to make decisions and are spontaneous. They love recognition and applause and exposure to people. I think Kimberly Warner is an I. They love to make people laugh and are prone to exaggerate. Not that she exaggerates, but I'm just reading through this and I'm thinking Kimberly Warner has a lot of these character qualities. They want you to be fun, enthusiastic, and responsive. They are great at starting projects, but not good at finishing them. As a person with this character quality, we can be disorganized. We strive on applause, recognition, incentives, and approval. We fear rejection. So a big motivator for eyes is the chase. So what you may want to do is let them know that you're having a host thing and the top hostesses get an extra party or something for the year. Or show them that $1,000 bundle and host coach them through that. So when speaking to these people at a party, they want to know how it enhances their status. Be the first person to hold the party in your group is something you might want to say. They want to hear your stories of how it worked and how it changed the lives of you or someone they know, and how it will save them time and effort and money. So when presenting, you want to do it dynamically. They love it when you support their ideas. Really focus on interaction with these people. To help them reduce their stress, you can focus on personal attention. Make them feel important and interact with them. To assure customer satisfaction, you may want to focus on regular face-to-face contact or the personal touch, like a handwritten note, making them feel important and valued. 25 to 30% of people have I tendencies, and they're often going to ask who. So a phone conversation with them might look like this. You want to let them set the pace and emphasize uniqueness and saving effort with them. So share your stories and incentives too for them. So an I might answer the phone like this. Hi, this is Mary speaking. And you might say, hey girl, this is Chris Dickinson, your Norwex consultant. How are you doing? I just saw on Facebook that you were in Texas. That looked like so much fun. How was it for you? And then you can say, anyways, I am calling to follow up to see how your product is working for you and to see if you have any questions. You mentioned you might want the mop. Now, there is this fabulous promotion that with our mop month, and I could totally help you get your mop. So you want to be sure to emphasize results, efficiency, provide options with cost benefits to help them make a good decision for them. At a party, you want to present the bundles to them too and the value of that. So going to the S segment is 30 to 35% of people are S's. These are people who have both reserved and people-oriented traits. Often they exhibit supportive and steady and slower-paced behaviors. They usually focus on preserving relationships and on creating or maintaining peace and harmony. They are steady, helpful, diplomatic. They love teamwork and are often sentimental. They do not like sarcasm or conflict or insensitivity. A fear for them may be sudden changes. So a blind spot for them that since they don't like sarcasm, they don't like conflict, they may tend to be people pleasers. S's are slow starters of projects. So they would be a great helper to a D or an I who's great at starting it, but not great at finishing it. So they're really good finishers. They enjoy working in friendly environments and want you to be kind and patient and soft-spoken. They are great listeners and seek acceptance, involvement, and friendships. To support this type of customer or team member, focus on their feelings and communication style. They need personal assurance and want personal attention from you and for you to be pleasant to work with. Use your time to build trust with this personality. They are focused on people and relationships. So on the phone, you can be a little chatty with them, but under stress, they can appear to be hesitant and even apologetic. They won't tell you about whatever dissatisfies them. They're going to be more likely to internalize it. So it's going to be important to ask questions to draw them out of their shell because you want to build trust with them. To help reduce their stress, assure them that you're going to iron out the problem if there happens to be one. Help draw them out in a friendly way with questions. Open-ended questions are better versus yes or no. Be sure to practice consistent follow-through. Be in touch regularly and be available when you are needed. A question they will often ask is when. So a phone conversation with an S might look like this. You really want to focus on building the trust. You want to talk warmly and informally, and you want to make collaborative decisions together. So an S might answer the phone like this. Hello, this is Mary speaking. Then you would say, hello, this is Chris Dickinson, your Norwex consultant. How are you today? I am calling up to see how your product is working for you and to see if you have any questions. You want to be sure to talk through their product questions once again and to make a decision. So if they're having a problem with the dust mitt, ask them questions, what they're laundering it with, with the electrostatic charge, and help them troubleshoot. And then say, is this something, would you like me to send you a sample of our laundry soap if they're not using it? Or, try to follow through with some information for them. C's are people who have reserved and task-oriented traits. They often exhibit cautious and slower paced and more careful behaviors. They usually focus on facts, rules, correctness, and the how. 25 to 30% of people have these character qualities. C's are calculating, logical, witty, analytical, and they're thinkers. They like to be correct and they like to have all of the details. This is my husband totally. He always asks, how is this going to happen? How are we going to be able to afford this? How are we going to make this work with travel or whatever? So they're really slow at starting projects because they want everything to be perfect. They're going to be excellent finishers of that project. Once they get started, they're very determined to finish it. So they want to make sure they know all of the rules. They're very structured and they do not like mediocrity and unorganization. When speaking to them, they want you to be detailed, accurate, objective, and unemotional. Now, I'm the complete opposite of my husband, so imagine how that might work. They want to plan things out and are deliberate with their decisions. They seek precision and want you to be thorough and accurate. They need to know how they can justify things logically. When speaking to them, they want to be precise and you support them with procedures while focusing on the process. To help them make a good decision, you want to provide them with all of the information, the data, and the documentation. You want to be serious when working with them. They don't really enjoy, the fun, jokey, sarcastic type people. Me. So under stress, they will withdraw. So they may even, if they're under stress, they may leave an area. They might just completely shut down emotionally and not communicate. They're going to be deep in their thought, and they're not going to be willing necessarily to share what's going on in their mind. They're going to be able to recite the order of events as they occurred, which for an I, they can't because they may exaggerate. They may make it more about them. So to help them reduce their stress, give them a detailed description of what you're going to do. Commend their thoroughness. So when working with a customer, you want to set specific timetables for ongoing communications. Be clear with what the product does and what they should expect, and and what you are going to do for follow through. They usually avoid social talk, so you want to appeal more to their logical side. So a phone call with a C might look like this. What you want to do is you want to draw them out. You want to explore their expertise, any objections they may have, and any concerns. So a C might answer the phone like, hello. They're not going to necessarily tell you who they are. And as a consultant, you can say, hello, this is Chris Dickinson, your Norwex consultant. I met you at Sue's party. I am calling to follow up to see how your product is working for you and to see if you have any questions. Once again, you want to emphasize accuracy, quality, and reliability. Remind them that there's a 2-year warranty. How is the product working out for you? Is it meeting your expectations? You want to make sure you provide documentation for any options or questions that they may have. So including the instructions is really important. So if you want to book with them, you can just get to the point and say, this month, Norwex is offering the mop for free as a host benefit. You mentioned you would like the mop but didn't want to spend the money. I have 2 dates available and I will help you earn the mop. I will message you the host benefits so you can look them over to see all of the great host benefits this month. Is there any reason why we couldn't pencil a date in for you? So, as I've covered all of those different behavioral styles, there is not one that's right or wrong. It's just the way we are. So none is better. We all have strengths, and there's there's weaknesses as well. So there's a lot of information that I've shared. I've been sharing documents that you can print off, and those are helpful to print off and hang up on your wall or on a sign or something. So when you're talking to customers or potential team members, you can see them and kind of target your tone of voice and things that you need to speak on. Next month, we're going to talk about the different ways we can sell to people in a presentation style at a party or a Facebook party. I'm going to offer questions you can use to ask during conversations with people. I'm going to talk about the power of your telephone and how to handle objections easier. We will also do an exercise of your why and help you create a clear vision of your why, hearing from several other consultants and what their why is. I would love for you to make a comment about what you think your primary behavioral style is in the comments. And like I mentioned before, what's mine, and maybe a significant other or someone you work with. Thank you so much for listening.